Hi, my name is Callie, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to solve word problems that require us to divide fractions. I went ahead and written two word problems that require us to divide fractions in order to solve. The first word problem says, Sammy is making some cookies for her bake sale. Each batch of cookies requires 1/3 cups of sugar. If Sammy uses a total of 1.5 cups of sugar, how many batches of cookies did she make? Now, as you can see, I underlined how many batches of cookies because that tells us that we need to find how many groups she made. So this is a how many groups problem. I solved this using a double number line. So I put the batches on top and the cups on the bottom. So I went ahead and did it 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we knew for one batch, we needed 1/3. So that means for 2, we needed 2/3. For 3, we needed 3/3, or in other words, 1 cup. For 4, we needed 4/3. And for 5, we needed 5/3. However, if we need to figure out how many we can make with 1 and 1.5 cups, we need to find a common denominator. So the common denominator of 3 and 2 is 6. So I went ahead and changed 1.5 to 3/2 and then converted it to 9/6. Then I went in and found the equivalent for each of these with the denominator 6. So 1/3 is 2/6, 2/3 is 4/6, 3/3 is 6/6, 4/3 is 8/6, and 5/3 is 10/6. However, we need 9/6, and that's in between 8/6 and 10/6. So I went ahead and found out that half a batch is 1/6. So if we add half a batch, which is 1/6 cups, to this group right here, we get 4.5 batches and 9/6 cups. So I went ahead and I checked my answer. How many batches of cookies did she make? 4.5. By doing division. So I did 1.5 divided by 1/3. 1.5, as I already mentioned, is 3/2 divided by 1/3. And then we would solve this by inverting the second number, 1/3. So we get 3/2 times 3/1, which is the same as 9/2 or 4.5. So we write. Now let's take a look at the second problem. Sammy is making some brownies for her bake sale. She makes 1 1/5 batches. If Sammy uses a total of 4.5 cups of cocoa powder, how many cups of cocoa powder are in each batch? So I went ahead and underlined this because this tells us that we need to find how many in each batch. And for this one, I drew a diagram. So each of these little squares equals 1/5 of a batch. So there's 1/5 of a batch right there. And 5 of these, 5/5, equals 1 batch. And so she made 1 1/5 batches, so that's what these represent. And we know in these 1 1/5 batches, she used 4.5 cups. So I figured out that we need an equal amount of cups in each fifth of batch. And 3/4 satisfies this. 3/4 plus 3/4 equals 1.5. That means these equal 1.5, so those together equal 3. And 3 plus another 1.5 equals 4.5. So she uses 3/4 a cup in each fifth of batch. But we need to know how many are in each whole batch. So we can do this one of two ways. We can add 3/4 5 times, or we can just do 3/4 times 5, which will give you 15/4 or 3 3/4, which shows us that we need 3 3/4 cups because they're in each batch. And in order to check, you can do 4.5 divided by 1 1/5. which is the same as 9/2 divided by 6/5. And then you need to invert the second one and multiply. So 9 1/2 times 5/6, which will give you 45 over 12, which is the same as 3 3/4, which is the answer that we got. I hope I helped you to better understand how to solve word problems that require us to divide fractions. And until next time, have a good day.